Hey guys, what's going on? My name's Lancer Archer. Welcome back to the channel and to another Destiny video. And today it is the last Destiny video with Xur for D1. So our boy is in the tower hangar outside, well, bottom of the stairs, and you take a right instead of going left into the hangar. So let's see what our man has for sale. Alright, so we have the Legacy Engram for special weapons. So obviously remember, Legacy Engram's all for year 1 stuff essentially. So if you hadn't completed anything from year 1, grab them from here. Next we have the Ruined Wings. These are the Titan Gauntlets. These came out in with the Crota's N raid. So essentially this is a Discipline Strength roll, maxing out at 57 for Discipline and Strength. So the perk for this one is heavy ammo drops more often and contains more ammo each drop, increased reload speed with rocket launchers, and increased melee attack speed. This particular set of arms was incredibly useful for us back in year 1 because at that point in time heavy ammo didn't spawn as regular as it did now. Like back in year 1 it was probably one of the most biggest things we had to worry about on raids, is whether or not we had enough heavy ammo since. And Ruined Wings at the time, before they fixed it, or patched it I have to say, it would only drop heavy ammo specifically for Titans if you were lucky and you were like a Warlock or Hunter, and you might have got some heavy ammo to drop for you. But yeah, it was a time when heavy ammo back in year 1 was scarce and you had to rely heavily on heavy ammo packs. And if you ever found any drop on the floor, especially during the raid, you were desperate to grab it no matter where you were. So that was the year 1 gauntlets for Ruined Wings. Now they not so much, because they've essentially fixed the heavy ammo drop rate, so you get like an abundance now. But back then this was like a lifesaver for raids, like if you had it equipped. Now I'm not so much. Like, I don't know, I mean, I think some people still use Ruined Wings. Like, I know the Warlocks have the transverse steps, which is essentially the equivalent to this, but it works differently. So when a Warlock wears the transverse step boots, they get more ammo, heavy ammo equipped to them, so they can hold more. So that's always good for raids and so forth. But yeah, essentially these were still great arms to have. Like, in terms of like raiding for PvE purposes, one of the best things you could have got exotic wise. Okay, next we have the Shinobu's Vow. This has been on sale a lot quite recently. This is purely a discipline roll, not good. So it's 84 maxing out. So this one gives you the improved Skip Grenade and gain an additional Skip Grenade charge. So for those you already know, this was used heavily back in, well, doing trials. Skip Grenades were kind of, they probably still are quite broken actually. I haven't seen a lot of people use them, but recently I should say. So what it was, Skip Grenades, if you've already come across them, would follow you around the map and kill you pretty much, or bring you down to enough health where they could one-shot you anyway. If they're throwing double, it makes it worse because you're not going to survive 2 Skip Grenades, especially if they track you around the map. I don't know if they've actually nerfed the Skip Grenades or whatnot, but considering now it's not really big of an issue because next Tuesday D2 is out, so it's all been changed. So obviously anything here that you see is purely for collection purposes now, so grab it if you haven't already got it. Next we have the Warlock's Purifier robes. This is rocking an intellect discipline roll, maxing at intellect at 81 and discipline at 77. So the perk for this one is activating radiance from death disorients nearby enemies. Okay, so this was the chest piece that came out, I want to say back in end of year 1, beginning of year 2. This was, let me just see if I can bring it up so you can have a look at it. This was the chest piece that a lot of people wore, but once people got used to how it worked in trials, they became quickly aware of how to avoid it. Like with most things, there's always a strap worked around it. But so essentially, when you were a Resi Warlock, you would res, and if they were stupid enough to stand next to you and not know you're wearing Purifier robes, it essentially gave a flashbang effect on the opponent, thus giving you a chance, if you were using fusion nades, to sticky everyone in proximity, killing them all as quick as you can, or even melee them to death. Because obviously with a Warlock and you punched them in the solar, with the solar perk on, you got overshield, which gave you like a bit more defense on top of this. But yeah, people found a way to get around it. So essentially back then, when res sniping was a huge thing, it kind of still is now, but back then res sniping was like a really huge thing. Like you could not res unless you knew you could essentially snipe. Like I say snipe, but essentially unless you got your teammate to slide you out of the way, or you did the running res, the pass by res. Yeah, there were lots of ways people would counter it, but the Purifier robes as a exotic armor piece wasn't too bad, but it was limited. Like, you would only ever use it in PvP, and at that point it was done once people found a massive counter towards it. And weapon of the week is the Plan C. The year 1 exotic fusion rifle has been with us since year 2 and essentially all through it. Not highly used as much in year 3. I mean, just because fusion rifles had that massive drop off. But this back in year 1 was a beast of a fusion rifle. Like, you could hit fire this thing from pretty much a fair distance out and kill them in one. It was a beastly weapon to use. Be interesting to see what they bring us in D2 in terms of fusion rifles and exotics, but in terms of what we have for Xur and his final week, it's a bit of a mixture. I mean, if we talk about like your tier 12 stuff, the only thing that's good is essentially the Ruined Wings, because this is rocking a 98% roll on the arms. I think the max is 58 if I remember correctly, so this is like 2 points shy or 2% shy. Shinobu's Vows 82%, not great, but we've had arms that are better. The vendor roll may be even better one than this one. Purifier robes, meh. You know, as a exotic chest piece, it's okay, but there are other ones out there that you can use for much better, that you can get a dual purpose out of as well. And then obviously Fusion Rifle Plan C, you know, as a weapon, it's not too bad, but you know, there's no real need to use it. But there are other arc weapons you can use in not what's what I'm looking for. You can use instead of, that's the word, instead of this. Alright, weapon bundles. Trespasser and the Fallen Assassin. I believe this was on sale last week. And then next we have the Invective with Storm's Reproach. So for those who remember, Invective is the year 1 shotgun which could regen ammo, much like the Icebreaker. However, the regen on this weapon is incredibly slow. You cannot pick special weapon. Can you pick special ammo up for it? I believe you could pick special ammo up if you were out, but once you were finished using the weapon, the ammo that you picked up from special boxes, I believe the regen was incredibly slow. It still is now. Alright, next we have the Xur'S, you have the ammo cinch, your 3 coins, which essentially now are useless. I mean, there's no need to have them, and your glass needles. And then you've got your material exchanges. So that is it for Xur this week. There is pretty much, this is the last week, or let's say this is the last day here at D1. So that's what he has. Hopefully you'll have some use out of everything that's here. Maybe you'll get something good out of it, who knows. But that being said, yesterday Bungie revealed the date for the raid for D2. It is coming on the 13th of September. That is Destiny 2's new raid. So it'll be that. So remember, as soon as D2 hits on the 6th of September when its midnight raiding release, start grinding to get raid ready, people. It will be needed if you want to try and attempt for World's First. I think my team and I will attempt it for World's First, just because why the hell not? You never know what could happen. Shortly after that, and I mean quite literally shortly after that, 2 days after, Trails of Orsiris returns to Destiny in I don't know what capacity. All we know is that it's coming. That's the release date. Engrams. It's been announced that before, when we got engrams, they would unlock to the level your light level was set at. So if for some reason you were running something and you weren't at your highest light level possible and you were down, say like a few light level points, it would unlock engrams to your current level. Now they take into account what your potential level will be. So even if you're not wearing your highest set gear, it will still know that you're unlocking it, and they will put it up to that potential light level. So I'm not sure how it's working, but I think depending on if you take it from how the beta went, and you were starting at a light level of 200, say you're at 250 potentially later on in the game, the engrams that will decrypt might potentially unlock at 250. That's what I've got from the message for it. So it's taking that into account. So that being said, it's interesting. So that way you don't have to worry about having to go to the Cryptarch, resort your gear out to unlock it to this, and then so forth. It's going to be fun. D2 is like so close. It's like it's preloadable now. So if you've ordered it, pre-ordered via digital download, like PSN or Xbox Live, you can. It will essentially goes live now for preload, and then obviously at midnight on the 6th of September, it will go live across like a rolling midnight roll. So it'll be interesting to see how everyone does. I mean, hopefully we won't have any server issues, because I think the last time they did a massive release like this, it was like essentially just troubles trying to get into the game. Like if the servers wouldn't load, you couldn't get in. I remember it took us, I think it took us like an hour to get into D1 initially. My brother and me, it took us a long time to get in. We sat there like spamming trying to get into the servers, and we got a couple of error codes, but we got in. But yeah, that's Destiny 1 essentially rounded up. I hope everyone had a great time playing D1. I especially had a great time in the 3 years of playing Destiny 1. I have so many fond memories. I'm pretty sure everyone has some fond memories of it as well. That being said, what I'm currently wearing, my Void Flame Vestments, was actually my very first exotic armor piece. So for me that was quite exciting. So I'm still wearing it at the end. But yeah, hopefully I'll see everyone in Destiny 2. Where Xur will be next Friday, no one knows, but maybe we'll try and find them together. So for those who don't know, I have started streaming, so this is a nice little reminder for everyone, or for those who don't know who would like to follow me on Twitch. I am at twitch.tv/Lancelot Archer. I will be streaming Destiny 2, mainly on my channel, but I do play other games as well. So if you would like to follow, please drop by and drop a follow and say hey and chat to me and whatnot. I'll try to respond as much as I can. I'll be with my raid team as well, and my other fire team members as well. So if I don't respond to you, please don't take it personally. It's just obviously I'm trying to communicate with them and keep an eye on chat. But hopefully I'll see you all on the D2 stream at midnight. So I'll be trying to do as much as I can before I pass out. But hopefully I'll see you all in the grind. And with that being said, take care, have a great weekend. Don't forget to sub, favorite, like and share to the channel and on Twitch as well. If you want to keep up to date with me, follow me at Xur'S Archer on Twitter, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Take care, have a great one. I'll see you all in Destiny 2. Bye.